Welcome everyone to another episode of Talent You Should Know, where we focus on the entertainment industry on a different level. Not only will there be artist and actor interviews of known and unknown talent, but insight into the team behind them that helps them build their brand. Each week, we'll tackle a different person in the industry with talents in their own rights. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome everyone to another episode of Talent You Should Know with Zag. Today we have multi-talented, I will say Daz Dilly. I know that, some may know him as Dasmyn Grigsby.
Grigsby, correct.
So, which do you prefer?
Doesn't matter, man. Dasmyn Grigsby is my birth name, so of course I gotta respect that as my birth name, Dasmyn Grigsby. Everyone calls me Daz, D-A-Z.
Okay.
That's my family nickname, and everybody who knows me, that's my nickname. Daz Dilly kind of came about when I was in college. One of my good friends, now frat brother, it's like, man, Daz, okay, like Daz Dillinger, like Daz Dilly.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm a producer too, so I rock it, And so the Daz Dilly kind of came from that, and he's been calling me that since college, and it stuck, and I made it as my Instagram name, and so Daz Dilly is cool too.
Okay. So let's go with how you started, because I saw you on TikTok, and I was like, oh my, and I think I saw you probably the same day that you joined TikTok. I don't know, it was really early.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to watch Drumline tonight. This is about to be like an entire situation. So, But you play multiple instruments, right?
For the most part. Now, with percussion, there's a lot of different instruments. There's probably over 100 instruments in the percussion family. So, in that instance, yes, I play a lot of different percussion instruments. As far as like other musical instruments, I play the piano a little bit, but really, I'm a percussionist at heart. That's all I really know how to play. So, if you put a trumpet in front of me or a guitar, I'm gonna look at it like it's Spanish or something.
Right.
Like, what you want me to do? You want me to play that?
Right.
So, but no, I play a lot of different percussion instruments: congas, bongos, timpani, marimba, mallet, any mallet percussion, any marching band percussion. I'm all on it. So quad, cymbals, tenor drum, bass, snare.
That's awesome. So did you start in like middle school, or how did this work?
Yeah, I started in middle school. That's where I got introduced to music and got introduced to band. Because the year before, I wanted to play baseball. And then that one year of baseball, I think we had the worst record in the park, and I wasn't hitting no balls. I wasn't doing no home runs.
Okay.
I was like, this ain't it. This ain't it for me. I love baseball. I still love baseball to this day. I was like, I'm not a physical person. And literally that following year, started a middle school band at Chapel Hill Middle School here in Decatur, Georgia. And that was my start to drumming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember in middle school, they gave us they had the whole, what do you want to play, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to play sax.
Okay.
And they were like, too many people are playing sax.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but I want to play sax.
Well,
I'm sitting there like, this is, my heart was set on it. I was ready. They were like, we have clarinet or clarinet.
Right.
I was like, I guess I'll play.
That's how I play clarinet.
But I played all through, up until high school. I was like first clarinet, and I made like all Eastern and all this other stuff. But I stopped in high school because I had to make a choice between chorus and band. Like I couldn't do both. So I chose chorus, and partly because they were going to make me do marching band. And
right.
So did you do marching band in high school?
I did marching band in high school and in college. And actually my first down here in Atlanta, when I started, band was like really, really big. And so some of the middle schoolers could go into the high school. If you were a 7th to 8th grader, you could march the high schoolers, right?
Right.
So I started honestly in 7th grade marching with the high schooler, and then my 8th grade year, I was like, no, I don't want to do it. Set out my 9th grade year, and then my 10th grade year, where I was already in the high school, I started back marching in high school. So yeah, high school, and then did it collegiately.
Now they were talking about making it. Was it an Olympic sport or something like that? Like
I think I
marching?
heard that. I
Yeah.
think I heard that, and I will be 110% a supporter of that. I
Yeah.
would, because I mean, it takes a lot of physical, uh, just everything when it comes to marching band, especially with the instruments. Like a regular tri-tom or quint, that's with 5 or 6 drums, 6-tuplet, that weighs about 30, 40 pounds itself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then being out in the sun and the physical demanding of marching band, I would not be surprised. I will be there. I will buy a ticket to the Olympics game because
I would actually. I'd go because even the outfits, like those aren't like linen suits.
oh no, they're wool.
Like it's like luggage, that you wear.
It's wool. It's cotton. Like it's. I remember even in high school. In high school, we had layers to our uniform.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, here in Atlanta, it's 90-something degrees in the summer and stuff. So, and even when I went to Daytona Beach, I went to Daytona Beach at Bethune-Cookman University down in Daytona Beach, and it was hot there, and we had full leather and gold plated. Like, yeah, it's a lot.
It's fancy.
It's fancy.
Hot.
Right. And we had to stand there and perform with the
song. So a lot of people, I think probably like me, they were introduced by that movie Drumline. Is that true to life? Like the whole process as far as like, going through it?
Yeah, for the most part. Of course, a lot of that stuff was fluffed because of the movie. Right?
Yeah.
But a lot of the process of going through a drum line and the highs and the lows, not reading music, knowing how to read music, and the camaraderie with the rest of the drummers, and the early mornings and the late nights, and the drums. Those are real things that happen in the HBCU. Not even the HBCU, but in a drum line. In a marching band, in a traditional style marching band. Of course, a lot of the other stuff was just, what will make great TV.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about it, I did go to that high school, the Atlanta A&T band. That was mostly about 80 or 90% high schoolers in that marching band.
Oh.
And that was Southwest DeKalb High School in Decatur. They used the same uniforms.
Yeah.
I don't have a picture of it. Yeah, I don't have a picture of it. But we have the same uniforms. Actually, maybe I do, because I have my yearbooks right here. Let's see if I can find it real quick.
Okay.
But it's the same school. And a lot of the people that were in the movie Drumline, they're like my mentors. They're my best friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I it's Drumline was a huge part of my career. And when it comes to marching band, you can't see it because it's in black and white.
They trying to save on the color.
Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's the same.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can see that it's. Yeah, I see it.
But what they did was they put the A&T over the original uniform.
Okay.
Right. So yeah. So that was that's the connection between me and Drumline. Like that's I am Drumline. Like I'm a part. I wasn't in it because I was in middle school when that came out. And but even in high school, we was going to Memphis Grizzlies games, Atlanta Falcons games, as a band that played Atlanta A&T, Southwest DeKalb High School. Boom.
Now, is that how you got on the Atlanta Hawks drum line?
For the most part. So one of the guys that I give all of my credit to when it comes to just learning so much about the drumline entertainment and the marching band experience, his name is Don Roberts.
Okay.
And he was the musical director for the movie Drumline. He was also he's also the founder and CEO of Drumline Live, which is a theatrical production of the movie Drumline.
Okay.
And at around the 2012 year, going to Southwest DeKalb High School for a Christmas concert, and they was like, hey, we have a Hawks drumline meeting downstairs. You should come. I said, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I came down there and I met Don Roberts. I already knew Don Roberts, but he was there. He was like, oh, Dasmyn, all right, come on in, another good drummer. When I looked, it was all these great drummers, and they're like, "Yeah, this is the Hawks Drumline, and this come be a part." And that was my first time starting with the Hawks Drumline. We ran for about a good 2 or 3 years, and then we wasn't there anymore, and then we came back in 2018.
Got it.
And so I've been rocking with the Hawks since then.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah,
and it was interesting. Like when I was looking at some of the things that you've done, like you worked with Dougie Fresh and Missy, and I saw you in the Dose video. I was like, wait, the red shirt. I see it. Like,
yeah,
I saw you back there.
Yeah, and
then you got like did you get a Grammy for Homecoming?
I did get a Grammy for Homecoming.
You were in Homecoming with Beyonce. How did all of this come about? Like, everything.
So I'm glad that we kind of started from the bottom and now we're here, right?
Oh, I do that, yes.
Yeah. So because the reason being is because when I always say that relationships are very, very important. Yeah. It's all about relationships and how you carry yourself, and it's who you connect yourself to. So let's start in middle school, right? So I was in middle school, I was in the marching band, I was feeding into Southwest DeKalb High School, right? So when I was feeding into Southwest DeKalb High School, they were filming the movie Drumline. So
Got it.
Was behind the scenes, right? And so the guy who was very instrumental, again, Don Roberts. So he was all into that, right? So I went through high school. We performed at Falcons games and different things at high school. Once I graduated from high school, I went to Bethune-Cookman, where that was just a whole different experience. HBCU was like, it was crazy. Even with when I was there, performed for the Super Bowl, pregame show, Pro Bowl, halftime show, Jacksonville Jaguars, football games, appearances and reality TV shows and stuff like that. Yeah. And then, so when I graduate, I'm like, man, I want some more of this. Like, this is really, really cool. I get back home and I got a degree in business administration. And so I got a corporate job. I'm doing all this corporate stuff. But then I was still doing side gigs like the Atlanta Hawks, right? I was still doing drumming for Drumline Live. We would go around the country and do different performances, like play with the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra or perform for the Brooklyn Nets halftime show, where that's when I first met Dougie Fresh through Drumline Live. So while I'm doing that, of course, you meet other musicians, other drummers, you stay connected. Don Roberts is a really good friend of mine, but also a mentor to me. So, of course, I continue to have conversations with that. Years go on, different events. I'm still corporate, going to 9 to 5, clocking in, all that good stuff. 2018 comes around, and I'm at a cosmetic clinic, like a cosmetic surgery clinic, and making pretty good money, liposuction and all that good stuff.
Facebook. Oh, you make it,
making pretty good money, right?
In Atlanta,
right, exactly. So I was making pretty good money. However, I was not happy. I was not.
Yes.
I was literally doing stuff. I would literally go into the office 8 o'clock sometimes, and be there all day, and I would just go through the day without even realizing what I was doing. It was that easy. Yeah. I was realizing like they were demanding stuff from me that wasn't, in my eyes, ethical. And I was like, this is not cool. I'm not happy. I'm not really making money like I'm used to or that I want to. Yeah. But I'm not happy. So I'm like, something got to change. So I remember I was going to work and I was just mad one day. I don't even know why I was mad. Like, people was like, you okay? Yeah, I'm all right. But I'm just like, I'm all right. And so after that day, I said, no, I got to leave. This is not it. Because it was one incident that I was missing performances because I was working. I was like missing like great opportunities. Yeah. While I was working. I'm like, no. So I said, I decided.
Your purpose, right.
Right. I decided 2018, February 1st, that I was going to quit my job. I'm going to go full-fledged musician. Wow. I'm going to work with the Braves. I'm going to work with the Hawks. I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to make beats. I'm going to do something, but I would rather do something to make me happy rather than be up under somebody that's just draining stuff from me. I'm just not going to do it. Yeah. Literally a month from February 1st, 2018, I got a call from Don Roberts. It was a Facebook post, and he's like, hey, I have a major gig for you. I cannot tell you who it is, but can you go to New York for 2 months? And I'm like, New York for 2 months. Now, the last time I went to New York with Drumline Live, I met Dougie Fresh. We did this and that.
Right. I tell you have to go to New York.
I don't got no job, so let's go. I will go to New York. I don't got nothing to do, right? So he says, okay, cool. Maybe like a week later, he's like, you sure? You sure you committed? I'm like, yeah. He said, okay, well, it's not in New York no more. It's in California. And I was like, even better. Like, it's warm weather. I could do California. Yeah. So to move the story along, I didn't hear nothing for another 2 or 3 days. Like, nothing. Okay. I'm just sitting here like, okay, is this still going on? This is the timeline. So let's say Monday I got a reconfirmation. Wednesday I got another confirmation from one of the Drumline Live staff saying, hey, we need to get your information, blah, 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 plane ticket, da, 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 da. All right, cool. Yeah. Gave the information on Wednesday, didn't hear nothing Thursday, didn't hear nothing Friday. Saturday morning, I hit up my homeboy like, yo, have you heard from so-and-so? He's like, I mean, I got an invite, but I don't know much. I said, okay. Saturday afternoon, I got my flight confirmation. Maybe 2 hours later, I found out it was for Beyonce. Sunday, we're flying out to LA. Monday, we had our first rehearsals for Coachella. Wow. It was that quick. Like, it was like, hey, pack your bags because we don't know when we leaving. That Saturday, we got the stuff. Sunday, we were on the flight. Monday, we had rehearsal at 9 o'clock a.m.
What was that moment like when you saw it was Beyonce?
Well, I didn't know it was Beyonce at first. So this is how it was set up. So once we got in, we met everybody. They already had the stage set up. That the pyramid was already set. And so they're like, okay, well, Drumline's here. We're gonna put the drumline on top. When we was going in there, we thought our spots were like you had to fight for your spot because we heard, oh yeah, Beyonce cut people. You want to make sure you're on your P's and Q's. Cool. Right. So we at the top. We like, all right, man, we gotta do this. So we're like making sure we all good. So we sit down and we talking, and then my homeboy sitting next to me. He's like, yo, that's Beyonce. And I'm like, where? Like, I'm looking for like cloud, halo.
Right. Dropping from the right.
Like sun rays coming from everywhere. Yeah. Right? I'm looking like, where is she? And he was like, bro, she's right there. Real calm. She had like an all black jumper, had her hood on. Of course, you see the blonde hair, had her shadow on. And she's walking with like one person. I was like, oh, that is Beyonce. Right? But it was no like big deal.
Yeah.
Grabbed the mic. She says, hey, I'm glad to see everybody. I'm glad everybody's here. We're going to have a great time. Let's create some magic and let's have fun. And then that was it. And we was like, that was Beyonce. She actually just talked to us. So that was our first time seeing Beyonce. And then, of course, the rest is history. We saw her almost like every day. She worked, and it was almost like a job. Like it wasn't a lot of socializing. But when we did socialize, we socialized. Yeah. We had a great time. Like it was like band practice.
Her work ethic is crazy.
It's crazy. Like we would practice for early in the morning, and then we have some breaks. We have about 2 or 3 breaks, but then we won't leave till probably like 9 o'clock that evening.
Wow!
But all of that was literally work. Like it was in the space for creativity was just wonderful. If she didn't like something, they'll change it. Or if the music director say, "Hey, I want to add this," then we were able to add it.
Yeah.
And so that was just the beautiful thing of being under her and her team. I really learned how to work creatively.
And you were in prime position.
Right.
Like, I mean, you were on the edge, right?
I was on the edge. So yeah, my homeboy Rashad was on the left side or the right side, depending on where you're looking at the thing, and I was on the other side. And there were times where she would just be right there, and we was right at the top.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, now what is Xclusive Percussion? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, Xclusive Percussion is a drumline entertainment company that was founded in 2018 by myself. And what Xclusive Percussion is what it basically stands for. It's a drumline entertainment company for corporate events, wedding events, or special events, or anything of that nature. Okay. It's based out of Atlanta. A lot of our guys and ladies who perform with Xclusive Percussion have performed for the Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Hawks Drumline, Atlanta United Drumline, who we have performed for Amazon, Porsche, Bronner Brothers, Home Depot, like J. Cole, Missy Elliott, Janelle Monáe, Ti, just a list of people. And so what we do is bring Drumline Entertainment to your event, and high energy HBCU style Drumline Entertainment. And we also have other entities as far as like drum lessons. We have a Drum Lounge podcast that we're doing every week.
Yes.
We go out to the community, and we teach kids how to play drums through the I Talk to Strangers program. We're a community-based Drumline Entertainment company here in Atlanta.
That's funny that you say I talk to strangers versus stranger danger.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I love the fact that you go out into the community. What I find interesting is and you've probably seen this in New York, when people are playing the buckets, you know what I mean? And it's so intense. And you see I think Jay Fonz, he plays like the buckets online sometimes too. So do you think that is, for people who might not be able to get into drumming, right? Is that a good starting point? Like, tell me more about that, because it's so interesting how they create the sound with it. So I'm like,
I usually start kids with bucket drumming because I try to. I think it's a good start because it's very therapeutic to a sense where you can get so many different sounds from one object, right?
Yeah.
So it gives the sense of coordination and understanding what sounds you can produce from a drum. And that's a great start for kids. And it gives you some basis of some just regular rudiments, like just making sure that you keep your hands going and get a groove without buying a $200, $300 drum or a $400 drum set. No, you can get a bucket for like $2, $3 and still make music, and that's the beauty about percussion in general. You can make music out of anything.
Yeah.
And that's what I really try to encourage my kids, even in my kids at Dutchtown High School. I teach drumline there.
Yeah.
And when I teach my private lessons, anybody can be a drummer. You just got to take that extra time. And bucket drumming is that extra step at learning drumming, but as well as being creative and being an artist.
Yeah, my air drum and desk drum game.
Sick. I already know.
Go. You already know. I have the nail, so it's
See, it's there.
This. I'm just saying.
Put you on a roll right now. Yeah. But that's what it really is. Like I always tell, like you can clap.
Yeah.
You're 50%. You're halfway there of being a great drummer. Because if you do this, you can do that. You can put that on the track, and then you can put hand claps by. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's your journey, and I don't want to make it. What I try to do is try to make other people that's coming up, other kids that's coming up, make opportunities for them.
Yeah.
So, even if you can't buy a snare drum, if you can't buy a drum set, you can buy a bucket. You can buy some sticks. That's only like $5, and you can start your career with that, and go out on the street and hustle and make music and do it that way.
It's funny because a friend of mine had a birthday about a month ago, and he's a drummer. And I ordered him like some really nice sticks, and they were like, I didn't really know, so I was just reading the reviews and looking online. Yeah. And then I sent them to him, and he was like, these are excellent sticks, but he had like an endorsement with another company, so he couldn't like show them. Yeah. But I saw that you did something on Drum Lounge or something, or was it just your page about the 5 best sticks?
Yeah, we did a Instagram live.
Yeah.
With, the host Jeremy Foster, and I'm the co-host of the Drum Lounge podcast. Mm-hmm. And we just did a thing because for drummers, man, sticks and drum pads are something that we go through daily. Like we always want a new pair of sticks. We always need a drum pad, right? And so we just thought it would be a good topic to say, okay, what are your top 5 drumsticks,
right,
in the marching band world, and what do you use? And man, we did Instagram live, man, and we had a great feedback because of course I had my 5, Jeremy had his 5, but then we had people to call in and chime in, and they had a whole different type of 5. And so that is a conversation, and it's really cool. Like you said, your friend, he's endorsed, but he can't.
So going back to, you quit your job and then all of these things, now that you're aligned with your purpose, now that you're doing what you're supposed to do, start happening, and you're working with these people, you work with Beyonce, and then how did Willys Letter come about?
Willys Letter, wow. So Willys Letter came about right after the Beyonce gig, and I do produce music, and I do it because, well, I just love music. I just love music. I love creating music. And once I figured out I could actually make beats, I was like, oh, I'm in, right? So I started creating music. In hopes to, and I still want to have my own production company and to just to have production credits, which I kind of do.
Yeah.
And so right after that, a good high school buddy of mine, she's a producer. And she says, hey, Daz, I see that you're doing music. I would love for you to work on a project that I'm working on with this other young lady named Ciara. And we have this great short film. It's called Willys Letter. It's about a guy who, who saw his dad, kill himself. And now he's kind of going back to the house where it all started, and it's kind of brand new. And I'm like, man, wait a minute, hold on, let me digest this, right? And so she was like, well, we would love for you to work with another engineer producer, Joey, and y'all just create music for it. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm honored to even do it, and two, yes, I would love to do it.
Right.
So, and that right there was just a whole different experience because we literally set it was me, it was Joey, the other producer, it was Ciara, the director.
Okay.
It was Vanessa, who was the producer, who was a good friend of mine. All black, all young, around the same age, and we were just creating this masterpiece. And I was just blessed to be a co-producer of the music for it. And we worked for like a couple of months, man. And we just kind of sat there, put some ideas together. We really broke down, looked at each scene and said, okay, I want the music right here. I want the music right here. And it was my first time scoring a film. So it was just like really amazing. End of the day, man, we got in 2019, I think we got best short film at one of the festivals. So
that's awesome.
Now you can say I'm an award-winning producer of film score, and just amazing. Just amazing.
So do you want to, is that what you want to do, like in the long run? Do you want to produce, for individuals, or would you prefer scoring like movies and shows and that kind of stuff?
All of it.
All of
it. Right now, I'm actually getting together to produce another good friend of mine, his EP. Putting that together. I work with a couple of other artists producing some music, but I'm always willing to go in and look at them film and see what because I literally go to movies and see who's the music by.
Hans Zimmer. Let me tell you.
Have you heard the Beale Street? What's the name of that movie? Jesus Christ.
Which one?
Beale Street with yeah, I
know what you're talking about the black couple. She got pregnant. I know what you're talking about.
That soundtrack too. I mean that whole composition is well too. But Hans Zimmer, bruh, I literally studied all of his stuff. Like
if you and then who's the other guy? Because they wanted Hans Zimmer for Tenet, but they used Ludwig. Is it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Because those two, the connection that they have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. It's beautiful.
It's insane. I actually did a whole article on that, on just the soundtrack and what they did with it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so even with that, I love looking at scores. I love looking at listening to music. And so I would love to do more movies. I would love to do more YouTube series, or because I just did a theme song for a podcast maybe not too long ago.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, anything with music, anything where I can be creative, I'm all for.
Yeah.
And I just know the pandemic kind of really hurt a lot of people, even with the creative process. But now things are kind of coming back around, and so hopefully more opportunities are are afforded to me so I can continue to create.
Yeah. So do you still work with Hero the band? Because I thought I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I still work with Hero the band. That's another thing is when you because what I do, I sometimes I co-produce, sometimes I co-write, and sometimes I'm the black man. I'm in the background playing the background music and
Right.
making their music sound great. So right now they're getting ready for a new album that's coming out that I was fortunate to co-produce one or two songs, depending on what songs are on the album.
Yeah.
I know it's one song that I did co-produce. And then once things start opening up, I think they're still doing a couple of shows that's coming up in the fall. I will be performing with them if everything kind of works out well. So yeah, those are good friends of mine. Those
Yeah.
we went to the same high school and everything. So those are some really really good friends of mine, and yeah, I still work with them.
I dig them.
Oh no, they're dope.
And here's the thing, I didn't know, and I'll be honest, I didn't know about them until I, was looking up the stuff on your page.
Yeah.
And then I went to their page and I'm like, okay, all right, we have the look, we have something going on here. And then I went to YouTube and I was like, oh, this shit is nice.
No, it's a whole different experience. And of course, we're going to have to do another one where I can really just tell you about that experience with Hero.
Yeah.
But we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
And even to this day, I think I'm one of their biggest fans, man, because every time that they perform, it's a whole different level. It's so unique. It's so genuine.
Maybe I'll talk to them too. I'll reach out.
For sure. They'll do that, and I'll plug you in and just make sure that everything is good. But there's just the energy every single time that they perform or put in music or create music. It's lifetime, like it's changing. Like they're gonna be here for a while, creating some great music, and they're just really really dope. Really dope.
So, speaking of movies, I was on my way back from Berlin with my daughter.
Okay.
And I saw this movie that changed, it's one of my top 5 movies, which is Whiplash.
Oh wow.
What a sneak, for those who haven't watched that movie, it is one of the best movies that you've never seen.
No, for real. It really is. It really is. There's another movie I'm gonna tell you about, but let's finish Whiplash. I'm gonna give you another movie too.
Tell me if that is real. Do people get that intense with it? I was blown away.
Yeah, and what people really don't understand is that music is essential to not everybody, but more so musicians, right?
Yeah.
We take it very seriously, and especially if you put the time and the effort and the degrees and all that stuff into it. Yeah, you're gonna take it seriously. I saw a clip on Twitter, and they said, "Man, this was the scariest scene in the entire movie."
When his hands were bleeding when they were doing the competition for the
that one. That one was crazy too. I was like, "Bro, get this man some help."
Yeah.
It was the other one when he was in the band room, and the director was like, were you rushing or were you dragging?" And when he was like in his face and he slapped, he was like, "Am I like that?" Okay. I've never done it. And I've never been in a situation where somebody slapped me, but I have been in those situations where it's like, yo, are you on time? Are you dragging? You need to know the difference. It's like the drummer needs to be the heart of every situation. So exactly. So I've never been in that particular situation like Whiplash. However, I've been in plenty stressful situations where it's like, I'm just ready for this to be done. But you're so passionate about it. It's like, I gotta go through this because I got something to prove. Like he was trying to prove himself the entire movie.
He got in a car crash and still showed up. And the dude told him not to even. I would be pissed. Like, look, hold on now. Didn't he get on stage anyway?
He got on stage and killed the performance. But no, that's real. Like, and especially even in my career now, I would do anything to perform. Like at this point, sometimes your performance is your stress reliever. Sometimes your performance is like, look, this is all I got. If I got into a car wreck, I need to be at that performance because it means that much to me. Whiplash is a awesome movie, man. It's an awesome movie. I encourage everybody to see that. And another one.
Okay.
The Sound of Metal or Sound of Metal.
Why does that sound familiar? Let me write that down now.
Sound of Metal. It is on, I believe it's on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just give you a snippet. It's about a drummer who loses his hearing, and he has to redo his whole life. And it won Best Sound these last Oscars.
Yeah.
It won Best Sound, and you'll see why it won Best Sound.
Okay.
Like I don't want to tell you the movie.
I'll watch it tonight.
It is up there with Whiplash.
I'm holding you to that because I'm telling you, Whiplash is like there.
Whiplash was like, wow, this almost made me cry. Because I guess because I knew what a drummer, how it feels like if I lost my hearing. So it kind of hit home with me. But it was a surreal movie. Like, just to go watch it. Watch it. And let me know if you like it or not.
I will.
Yeah, for sure.
So, we're coming to the end, but I want to know about the Dog Pound Drumline Competition.
Okay.
Tell me about that.
Well, the Dog Pound Drumline Competition is a annual drumline competition that we have at Dutchtown High School down in Henry County, Georgia. That's where I am percussion instructor. During my days and afternoons, I go out there and I volunteer my time and my efforts and give back to the kids. And so the band director in 2019 was saying, hey, man, we need some fundraising ideas. What about having a drumline competition and just having people having drumlines in the county to come and do a drumline competition? And I was like, that is fine. I love it. I mean, it's a great community event, and it gives people things to watch. So 2019 was great. Of course, the pandemic happened. So going into 2021, we're like, okay, well, we need some money. So let's go ahead and boost up the fundraiser. Let's give the community a show. And so we had the marching band play as well as 5 different other drum lines throughout the city to come and perform. And it was the first outside event that Dutchtown has had since the pandemic. Awesome turnout, awesome performances, and it was really, really cool. It was really good to start off the upcoming year.
Yeah.
Drumline competition, and we were just discussing last week that we will have another one in the fall because it's supposed to be in the fall. So we're probably going to have another one in the fall. But no, it was great.
I was going to say something, but then I realized that's Atlanta, and you were talking about it. Because I was like, hasn't it been open? Like, I thought that Atlanta, like...
Okay, no, Atlanta is wide open. Atlanta is wide open, like, wide open. Right? But in these last few weeks, months, things around Atlanta has been slowly opening up.
That's why I corrected myself, because when you first said it, you were like, oh, then the pandemic happened. I was like, but did it? And then you said, but in the surrounding area. And I'm like,
yeah, in the surrounding area. Yeah, because for Dutchtown, I can only speak for Dutchtown, man. We did have football games. It was still social distance.
They had it here in Denver, and because that's where I'm at right now. I'm originally from Jersey, but I'm in Denver now, and they still had football, but the school was like at home, and the school was like, we're separate from that. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So even our football games weren't the same. We didn't do halftime shows. We didn't do anything like that. So it was just a weird year. So this was like the official, okay, we can start doing things now. It was still mass. It was still social distance, but it was a great turnout, man. So slowly we're getting back to normal.
We're getting back to normal.
If normal is a thing.
Can I tell you something? So I went out to eat. I think it was last Friday, and Denver is like, I think 100% capacity at restaurants.
Okay.
So I walked in, I have my mask on because I'm technically high risk. Yeah. So I try to like not go out as much as possible.
Yeah.
I go in, it's packed like sardines. And the lady's like, you want to sit inside or outside? I said, it's looking real COVID-y in here, ma'am. Sit me outside. And so she did. The waiter walked up with no mask on. I said, what are you doing? He said, oh, it's not mandatory anymore. I'm like, but the restaurant across the street are wearing masks. He was like, yeah, it's optional. So I was like, so it's not.
Right, exactly. And then even with the sports teams that I play with, so the way it's crazy right now, because right now the Atlanta Hawks are in the playoffs, so we probably have a game on Friday coming up. So I may be playing at that game.
Okay.
They do not play about the mask. They're like, no, put your mask on, social distance, stay away, right? But then again, I play with the Braves, right? And so now, well, okay, let's go back. The Hawks are going to be 100% capacity on Friday.
Yeah.
Braves just started being 100% capacity last week. And when I say they were ready, like nobody had on mask. Like nobody. And then even last week they said, as employees, we're entertainers, so a lot of our stuff is facial and a lot of it's vocal. And so there's like, well, if you feel comfortable, you can wear a mask. You don't have to. So you can see the extremes. You got the Hawks that's like, no, I need you to wear the mask. But then you got the Braves. It's like, I mean, if you want to, you can, but it's really not mandatory. And that's, we just don't know where we at in this whole COVID situation.
Well, what's crazy is they said, how is it that the NBA went through a whole season with not one COVID case, right? But the nation can't seem to figure out
what to do,
how to do it. So
they're not thinking. They're not thinking. They're not thinking at all.
So I appreciate you coming on this show because I love your TikToks. I love what you do. I appreciate everything that goes into musicianship and just really creating a sound that is memorable.
Thank you.
And I want to know what you want for the future.
What I want for the future, man. I just want, to be honest, I want the lifestyle that I'm creating. I want that to be the norm.
Yeah.
That to be the norm. Because I'm struggling trying to make drumming, trying to make percussion entertainment a thing. I want it to be normal. I want kids to know that you can actually drum or be a singer or be an artist, and that's okay. You can actually you can make a living off of that. You don't have to have a plan B, C, and D.
Yeah.
If your plan is to be a podcast host, you can do that. Because there are doors that are opening for that. So I just want my craft to be the norm, and people to be more accepting of that. I'm going to continue to grind. I'm always going to pull people and put people on and take different advice and continue to learn and to hone on my craft. But I just want it to be normal. For the kids that's coming up in the future.
And that's really the premise of this. That's why I call it talent you should know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, I have people who are in the forefront who do this and do that, but all this in the background, like the makeup artist, the band, the stylist, to me, they create the thing that you love. The person has talent who's in the forefront, but it's also the talents of the people behind the scenes. So I just...
And I'm a behind the scene person. I don't like being up front. I would give somebody the opportunity first before I do it, because I love the creation behind the product. So I totally feel you. But I thank you for even letting me come on and talk to you. This literally brightened up my day and got me focused, because anytime I talk about my career and my journey, it always is a reminder of how far I've come. But it also just lets me know I have a lot more work to do. So, and I truly appreciate you letting me come talk to you.
Of course. I get excited every time I feel like I get to do this. You know what I mean? Because I sing, I songwrite. It's one of those things where when I get to talk to someone who is, in just a creative in general, I'm like, oh, but don't you love this? Or I've talked to, dancers, and I'm like, do you get dancers block where you don't figure out the moves, and I'm so interested in all.
Yeah. Same thing with even those drum videos and TikTok.
Yeah.
Man, I was talking to my lady earlier today, and
I love y'all, by the way. I was gonna say that off the scene, but I love how you love that. Keep going.
I will let her know. She would love to hear that. But even just with that, man, that takes a lot of effort. I I literally create everything that you see. Like this is something I have to think about, and I have to say, okay, does this work well? Is the lighting good? Do I have battery life on my phone?
Right.
Okay. And so it takes a lot of work. You do have those blocks where you're just like, I can't think of nothing. And then you have to wait and sit on it. But that's the life of a creative, man, and that is a real thing.
Well, thank you again. I want you to tell everyone where they can find you, all of it, like all the links, all the sites.
All the links. Let's go down to it. So let's go with Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's DAZ.DILLY_. That is my personal page. My business page is Xclusive with an X, XCLUSIBE Percussion, PERCUSSION. TikTok, Daz Dilly, just like my Instagram name. YouTube, Xclusive Percussion. That's where you can find the podcast as well as all of my drumming videos. Facebook, it is Daz Dilly. As stated before, Xclusive Percussion is the page to like. Am I missing a social media? I don't think I am.
No. They'll create another one soon to miss. Don't worry.
Right. It's going to be like 2 or 3 more after this whole interview. But just follow me, man. Please support, not just me, but Xclusive Percussion. We're doing some great things within the community. And if you need a drum line for any event, whether it's a virtual event or it's an in-person event, Xclusive Percussion would definitely get you going with that. And drum lessons. If you need to learn how to play drum
lessons.
Yeah, drum lessons, xclusivepercussion.com. Click on the lessons tab. We'll have a conversation. We'll have like a Zoom consultation to get you right, and then we'll schedule for your booking. So Xclusive Percussion for all drumline percussion needs.
Boom.
Here it is.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Talent You Should Know. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well as leave a review. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.